Spiritual healing from the Torah, Parashat Shemot, the Hebrew midwives of manifested motherhood. So perpetual and motherly love is primary in spiritual healing. This unconditional love with which a mother regards her newborn, that's the most basic and primary spiritual healing. I'm just holding this innocent, vulnerable bundle of life. I'm looking at this defenseless creature, completely incapacitated and dependent on my care. Why would I look at this wrinkled face with so much love? What has this infant done to deserve my love? It cannot even smile yet. All it can do is receive my love and nourishment. And for this, I love my baby. I fall so completely in love with this being who indiscriminately receives everything I have to give it. It is this life which gave birth to my motherhood and ability to love unconditionally. It opened my incessantly flowing wellspring of life-giving motherhood, that divine source of perpetual nurture and nourishment. Thank you, Hashem. For this you have kept me alive, established me, and let me arrive at this time and opportunity of birth. No matter what, I'm committed to continuing to love and give of my wellspring of motherhood as long as my heart beats and my breath is still within me. I'm elated at this opportunity to give unconditionally and to love my baby into growing, thriving, and becoming independent of me. No matter how objectively ugly, undeveloped, crinkly, and ruddy my baby may be, it is always the most beautiful being in his mother's eyes. Perceiving this hidden beauty, pulling it out and expanding it is what transformed me from a new mother to become a spiritual healer. Each point of beauty that I fathom draws it out from potential to actuality as I give birth to the primary good points in life. From within the bowels of exile, among the oppressive leadership of male powermongers, you and your mother remain committed to life and motherhood. Against all the odds, as you see your mother's love reflected in your own eyes, you become recharged with eternal devotion to the cause of all life. Against suppression of your innate motherliness, your love grows even stronger, becoming willing to defy the threat of the serpent of death and mortality. Now the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, one who was named Shifra, and the second who was named Puah. Shemot 1:15. Shifra. This was Yocheved, called Shifra because she meshaperet, beautified the newborn infant. Your commitment to continue to beautify the new infant spills over into seeing the good points in everyone around you. Everyone can be regarded as an innocent newborn. By seeing his points of beauty, you can give birth to them and increase goodness and beauty in the world. Through seeing these goodly sparks, you are reflecting the Shekhinah, the divine life of the world, who invigorates you to become fearless towards anything but God. As long as you perceive infinite light and life, why should you fear darkness and death? Puah. This is Miriam, called Puah because she po'ah, cried and talked and cooed to the newborn infant in a manner of women who soothe a crying infant. Po'ah is an expression of crying out, similar to, like a birthing woman, I will cry, If'ah, Yeshayahu. She played with the infant to soothe and amuse him, says Rashi. Whenever we encounter pain and wailing in the world, we will respond with motherly soothing playfulness that allows the pain to melt away within the greater waves of life and fertility. We are all giving birth while we continue to be reborn as an increasingly more refined version of ourselves. We will not only talk and soothe, but also lift away the pain by offering our listening ear and heart, feeling the quandary of our fellow sister, holding the space for her, while being with her in her pain. Her cries will become transformed through songs of praise for the Almighty, in whose hand we let go of all anguish and agony, torture and torment. While the skin of the primordial serpent cracks, the unbearable pain too strong for any human to bear is transformed into the birth pangs of new life in a place where pain and pleasure are intertwined. The midwife said to Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women, for they are chayot. When the midwife has not yet come to them, they have already given birth. By overcoming fear of the sight of death and darkness, we become our own midwives and life givers, giving birth to ourselves and others while bursting and ousting any residual spiritual pollution of the chivya, the serpent, as Chava becomes Chaya, mother of all life, based on Be'er Maim Chaim. Building eternal houses through fear of God. The midwives feared God, so they did not do as the king of Egypt has spoken to them, but they enabled the boys to live. God benefited the midwives, and the people multiplied and became very strong. Now it took place when the midwives feared God that he made houses for them. The light of the holy motivation of motherly love and devotion must be conditioned by rectified vessels. Without proper vessels, the light will not be able to endure. Fear of Hashem is its treasure house. Fear of Hashem will ensure the balanced place of correct actions, providing the proper boundaries to serve as perpetual container to preserve all our love and goodwill. Holy awe is the rectification of the contraction and judgment of the vacant space that became sweetened in its root in the aspect of holy judgment. By means of the aspect of awe, houses are created. Their rectification of vessels and contractions to receive the light. This is the meaning of it was when they feared and he made houses for them. This is what Rabbi Natan of Breslov says in Likutei Halachot Or Chaim, Laws of Tefillin 5. Fearing Hashem implies fearing no one but God. No matter how powerful and threatening the pharaohs of our lives, our fear of the King of Kings will supersede any fear of kings of flesh and blood. Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmani said in the name of Rabbi Yonatan, anyone who teaches someone else's child Torah is considered as though he gave birth to him. Gemara, Sanhedrin 19b. Teaching Torah can be expanded to include teaching our sisters to believe in themselves, which is to believe in the divine core within their own souls. By seeing the good points in others, we give birth to their higher selves. By soothing, comforting, and singing their souls back to life, we allow them to survive the resistance of the other side and become reborn and revitalized. The midwives are the aspect of the righteous of the generation that gives birth to decent students in Israel. They are considered as if they gave birth to them, as our rabbis of blessed memory state. They, the midwives, did the opposite of the opinion of the other side, the aspect of Pharaoh in Egypt, whose main endeavor is to make sadness dominate through their crooked, cunning ways. This is mainly through the desire for money and sometimes by the opposite opinions draws from halls of replacement that discard the person by their inappropriate reproach. This is also from Rabbi Natan of Breslov, Likutei Halachot, or Chaim, Laws of Thanksgiving 6. While loving people back to life, we will abstain from inappropriate reproach and that extinguishes the light of our fellows, discouraging them from feeling self-worth and thus immobilizing them from growing in Torah, rising and shining. And now comes our spiritual healing exercise. For giving birth to our higher selves. Find a comfortable space where you can be alone with yourself for a chunk of time. Either lay down or sit on a cushion or sofa and place both hands on your body. Close your eyes, breathe a few times, then open your eyes halfway. Don't focus on anything. Hold your eyes there for 5 seconds, then close them. Breathe for 5 seconds, then open your eyes only a third of the way. Don't focus, but stay for 5 seconds. Then close your eyes and continue with your breath counting. Roll your eyes upward into your head, gently holding them there and focusing on the inside center of your forehead. Become aware of the space on your forehead between your eyebrows, known as the third eye. It is directly behind the light-sensitive pineal gland, which produces serotonin, a hormone that affects the regulations of wake-sleep patterns and your energy levels. Breathe into your third eye and relax the muscles on your forehead between your eyebrows. Now bring your thoughts and feelings together, creating a harmonious balance between the two. Tap into your inner wisdom and intuition while quieting the mind so that all your channels of thoughts are open. Visualize a wave inside of the ocean. Watch it slowly peak in intensity and then allow it to slowly come down. See yourself as a jellyfish, allowing that wave to wash through you. Surrender, letting the waves wash over you. Give yourself to the powerful ebb and flow of nature and to the rhythms of your own body. Gently make a mental affirmation. I can go with the flow. Allow all of your thoughts to be gazed upon. Don't judge or label any of them. Don't resist them. Allow them to flow over you and raise your vibrations rather than shrink them. Don't try to control your thoughts or achieve anything with them. Let them flow through you without attaching feelings or meaning to them. If you find that you're being bombarded with thoughts, get up, walk around your space for 30 seconds, and then sit down in a new direction. This allows the mind to reboot the body to be more at ease, and for you to go deeper into the space where your source lies. Visualize a great light shining and illuminating you. Allow it to melt away any fear, doubt, or negativity from your body and mind. Envision your illuminated self filled with gifts of divine inspiration, goodwill, and abundance to share with the world. Take your journal or a special piece of paper and write a list of the things you wish to manifest and give birth to through this spiritual journey. Write the manifestations as if it's happening in the present. You may also wish to write about manifestations coming to fruition at a certain moment in the future. Focus on how you want your future self to feel as your manifestations become reality. How will your body feel when your dreams are fulfilled? How will your mind feel when you feel filled with energy to manifest your higher loving self? What will seeing, hearing, smelling, and tasting feel like? How will they each contribute to your true nature? Write these points down too. Once you have stated your intention and attached feelings to the outcomes, it's time to let them go. Let your manifestations go completely. They require incubation in the ether. While it may seem difficult at first not to babysit and control your manifestations, allow yourself the belief and grace to let Hashem do the work for you. You're now learning to give up control and surrender yourself to ultimate motherhood. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a struggle. You have lost a lot in life, but you have gained so much more. The more you surrender control, the more you open yourself to being a conduit for giving birth to the love of life.